Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Muhammad Amir bin Muhammad Chari, 2C4725. I am the leader from the Group A, number 9. Today, I will present the group project of financial management accountability in Malaysia. For our presentation, we will go to introduction first, and secondly, we go accountability and types of accountability. 3, we go financial management accountability. 4th, we go to finding and discussion. 5, we go to suggestion and recommendation, and 6, we go to on conclusion. Firstly, I will presentation of introduction. The beginning of the topic discussion of financial management accountability in Malaysia focus on several relevant matters to obtain clear information and achieve objective in this discussion. On the public sector, the politician organization has power and automating to regulate and control by through several established process such as parliament. This power is given to ensure that the orders or system in the country runs smoothly and maintain unity among the race. Besides, the principle that has been outlined on the accountability in public sector, the government official need to be responsible to the citizen for their decision and action. See, the government have the duty, so government automatically receive to responsibility. The government needs serve to the citizen by manage and disable country resources, especially the financial resources effectively and uprightly by following the correct process to avoid misconduct and frauds. There are primary objective for the government in the public accountability sector, which is to disclose a transparent and fair reporting in government department performance with the compliance with the laws and regulation. There are 3 types of accountability, namely financial management accountability, and accountability of program. But for our discussion, we're not focusing about the types. We're focusing about financial management accountability. On the financial management accountability, involve 3 parties that are responsible to attribute the resources effectively, which is parliament or financial minister, controlling officer, and accountant general and auditor general. Each of the parties has different responsible in financial management accountability based on their roles and functions. Next, we go to next presentation.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurodiana binti Syakimi. My matric number 264973. I will present accountability and types of accountability. Next. Accountability is the state of being accountable, which means they are obligated and responsible for their action or consequence. Legaso and the last cases 2005, Bohiven 2007, and Odwia and Unaman 2007, the term of accountability is referred as a relationship based on commitment of some people to demonstrate, review, and take responsible for performance. Both the result achieved in the light of agreed expectation and the mean used. While Roboski and Settlement 2005, accountability as complaint and meeting personal relationship, feeling obligated to another individual and having to justify an action to others. Next, these are types of accountability, which are administrative, ethical, politic, professional, bureaucratic, legal, and financial management. All these types has its own function, and one of the function as international agreement and democratic tools. It can be used by the citizen to judge the public officer performance and selecting the government through voting. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nofarai Izzati binti Muhammad Rizwan. My matric number is 264549. Next, I will present about the financial management accountability. What is meant by financial management accountability? Public sector financial management accountability refers to a responsibility of public officers to manage public assets in an efficient, trustworthy, and fair manner. We, as a taxpayer, who are the providers of fund to the country. So from that, the people expect the government to provide the useful and best services to the people, so that the fund that was provided by us, by the taxpayer, will govern the country in a right way. Public officials are accountable for efficient and effective management of funds that was provided by the taxpayers to achieve the expected results from the certain activities. This will indirectly avoid the issues such as embezzlement, wastage, extravagance, and corrupt practice, where it will affect the development of a country. There are three levels of financial management, which are: the first one is fiscal or financial accountability, the second one is management accountability, and the last one is program accountability. The next one is Financial Management Accountability Index. This index serves as a benchmark for self-improvement that covers the ministry, financial management practice, departments, and agencies. As you can see here, these are the 9 elements that will be implemented to evaluate the financial management performance by the FMAI.
This is the table for financial management assessment metric. This table used to calculate the total score for department or agency. Then the total score we get a star rating and indicate the performance of financial management. For example, if the department score above 90%, it will get 4-star rating and the financial management performance is excellent. Next. The table shows FMI for 2016 that provided in NAD website. Based on the data, all the ministries show a higher percentage, which above 90%. This indicates that the financial management performance by all ministries are excellent. That's all from my part. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to the lecturer. My name is Wandi Nimawan Raza and I will be present about accountability issues in Malaysia. So for the first one is unsatisfactory services. Okay, so Malaysia's public service is also plagued by inefficiency and unethical activities. So the increased number of grievances received by the Public Complaints Bureau, PCB, is one of the indicators that transparency procedures among Malaysian civil servants remain unsatisfactory. The PCB has received several allegations against civil servants for poor service, including delays in carrying out official duties, unjust acts or rulings, biased judgments, misuse of authority, and failure to implement regulations and rules. Okay, so for the second one is continual fraud and transgressions. Despite the government's initiatives, the amount of lawsuits brought in Malaysian courts per year reflects on ongoing fraud and transgressions. Furthermore, the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, which encompasses 180 countries and tests the degree to which corruption is considered to occur among public officials and leaders, revealed that Malaysia has made substantial progress in terms of corruption over the years. So the third one is failure of the former leaders. So given the constant shifts of personnel, it is impossible for agencies such as the Auditor General's Office or the state and federal governments to determine the liable group. As a result, leaders' brief tenure exacerbates the problem of transparency, such as who can enforce and track corporate success and bear liability for the repercussions. So I will pass to the next presenter for the suggestion and recommendation.
Next, we go to suggestion and recommendation from the issue that has been arise in the financial management in accountability in Malaysia. Firstly, our recommendation about the issue that has been raised is considering the feasibility of a project. The further issue rise, namely the performance in management involving accountability. Efficient accountability can help management more efficiently and can be balanced the possibility that will occur when the government from the minister or senior civil servant make decision on the resources. A proactive method can provide assurance that the individual responsible can assess the risk of decision made more efficiently and prudently. Proactive method can be achieved if the government can provide clear project details, project feasibility, potential risk, and mitigation strategy for projects within each ministry department after it is agreed. A meaningful performance measurement practice requires not only that the performance indicators be carefully developed and used, but more importantly, that these indicators are accurately reported and disclosed to the wider public as a means toward promoting great accountability. With all the necessary detail for each project, there is a clear explanation, high confidence, and equality in the decision made. The information provided for each project, from the risk to the capability of a project, can give a clear picture that the government can lead efficiently in managing the project and reducing the significant impact risk. Besides, add value of KPIs for minister and ministry can give new environment for performance to achieve. As after we focusing the government sector, but now we focusing the free agency in the Malaysia, such as MACC. And firstly, the second our suggestion about the issue is act on the cooperation through big data and analytics. In the fight against scammers and discontent in the service of assertiveness masquerading as a great data analysis, unsatisfactory service, which is a design service that aims the optimal standard set by the government. Enforcement by MACC using big data and corruption behavior analysis is not the highest level. Targeted persons to alert individuals for personal political purpose. Based on the report of MACC, the anti-corruption body engaged a three approach in the fight against corruption, which is enforcement, community education, and prevention. Using enforcement, MACC defined the process of ensuring compliance with regulation standard that has been verified by government rules and social norms. The enforcement law can maximize social benefit and protect the integrity. For MACC, they use the enforcement that can be detect corruption offense and investigate corruption offenses. MACC also educate community to give awareness from grassroots level to increase the dangers of corruption and fraud practice for personal gains. This step was taken to teach the public against corruption and to engage the foster public against corruption. This attitude to fight corruption can provide greater effectiveness in fighting corruption. Besides, in the review, MACC want to detect the risk of corruption in practice, system, and work procedure in all sectors, and to provide necessary advice on possible corruption. Therefore, it is very important for this agency to have more effective system to detect corruption or fraudulent activity for the Malaysian financial accountability sector to combine the public and to the public. So this there are two suggestions for the issue in the financial management accountability in Malaysia that we can do effectively and can be considered.
So for the conclusion, we can conclude that Malaysians face many problems and challenges that need to be addressed by the government. For many years, issues such as unsatisfactory services, continued fraud and transgressions, and failure of the former leaders are contributing to the inefficient performance of accountability in Malaysia. As a result, Malaysia's capacity to uphold a certain degree of transparency could be jeopardized. It is critical to create the framework, processes, and strategies that will enable Malaysia to grow in strength and provide long-term benefits to its members. Malaysia will discharge its responsibility to its members, sponsors, and regulators with a strong system and an effective supervision and monitoring system. So that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.